How to build a house. First, wait until the snow clears. Pull on rubber boots with wide soles so you will not damage the carpet. Walk until you find a depression where deer have rested in tall grass. Here you will sleep. Walk out of the bedroom and turn in a circle until your eyes water, facing the wind. Here you will place your chair. The roof is self-explanatory, but walls are something you will raise yourself. Be sure to plan your windows. Now call your friends and gather sticks for a fire. If it snows before daybreak, you will have to begin again. This next poem continues the theme of home renovation. Painting the house white. Paint thick in the August heat, never seems to dry. Moist air, heavy with sweat and mosquitoes, resists my running strokes. Gray oak and cedar, parched from years of neglect, thirst for white paint. Old browns and bare trim glow whiter with each dip and slap. I whiten also. Splashes stick to my skin like scabs. Hot pores open, unprimed wood. I remember that summer we painted the house brown, how my rough hands seemed to melt her skin, chocolate tan, and how the flecks of white light on the river below us disappeared as we marked them like details of a dream. Looking down from my ladder, I watched her long strides cross the State Street Bridge. We never spoke after she left. She seemed to shrink with time like green lumber, her limbs a silhouette of fallen branches on that autumn day when I thought I saw her kneeling on the riverbank to sketch a dead perch washed up on the dark, wet slate. In the evenings, I saw her often, a brown shadow leaning against my porch post, her face to the lights of the valley, her flesh blood warm, present even now in every strip of wood I paint. Tonight, I watch mosquitoes rush the sticky white as if it were bare skin and flail their dark wings in whiteness, the white of death and forgetting. The hot enamel dries as slow as blood. This next poem takes us outside. It's called "The Rattlesnake Exchanges Its Skin." Rattlesnake searches for heat, crawls into your sleeping bag. You feel its cold mass press against your flesh. You unzip slowly, not to disturb, hoping it will seek the morning sun. Sometimes you wake up alone and find flakes of molted skin. Other mornings, you discover strands of hair, cotton threads, the sour scent of sleep. Signs that you have stalked the blanket den and coiled there, absorbing heat, striking unrestrained at her sudden fear, miles from any town. This next poem it's based on a incident from my childhood. I grew up in Minneapolis, and of course it's my hometown, and my heart goes out to everyone there. And I do believe Black Lives Matter, and I hope for healing for everyone there. This poem is called "The Crossing." At the crossing, we count boxcars. The bumper of our '57 Chevy waits. We look past the seat stains, the only time our dad bought Dairy Queen, and watch for bums sleeping on wheel frames or standing in doorways. We wave despite my mother's glare. They wave back. She says bums will steal us, but I know better. They live in the freight yard, deep in Minneapolis, where one afternoon I yelled and a bum chased my friends and me. We climbed a linked steel fence and leapt to the other side. He grabbed the wire, reaching through the square holes, his arms thin as rusted tailpipe, brown and wrinkled, too weak to climb. Rough skin covering his body, his face. His few teeth and parched lips cursed us back, sounding hollow and dry. None of us spoke, feeling guilty, knowing the safety of the fence was more than that, a barrier between worlds, only touching in secret places like this. He smiled at me, his gesture more frightening than his pursuit, as if he knew me well. We ran for our bikes and silently pedaled home. I never told anyone what really happened, how thin arms now hang down from my shirt sleeves, how I am dead to some, hardly alive to others. I count cars behind lowered barriers, watch the children's clear faces, hands waving over parents' shoulders, and I wish one more Dairy Queen for each of them. Thank you. This last poem that I'll read mentions my father. Is called What to Do in Case of a Gas Attack. My father dug a trench for his fear. By the time he returned, his blisters had healed and no Axis planes had bombed Minnesota. With his uncashed checks, he bought a mortgage, a 2-story house, brick, no cellar, an attic with no windows. Upstairs, he built a shower and a locker for dry goods, beans, canned peaches, condensed milk, and flour, a baking soda solution, bleaching solution, and soap. Sometimes I heard him climb the stairs at night to check his provisions. Some nights he heard the sirens and clutched my mother's arm. Some nights he never stopped climbing, up through the roof, above the heavy clouds. Thank you.
Thank you.